Last time we looked at static methods. As a recap, those methods don't need an instance of a class to be executed. Today we check out static variables. There are two different ways how you can use static variables. First, let's say we have a normal method. For this method we want to remember how often it was used between calls. If we just write a normal variable inside the method and increment it by 1, obviously it won't work because this variable gets created for each individual call of this method. However, like with methods, we can add the static keyword in front of variables. The effect of this is that the variable persists between multiple calls of this method. However, you can also only use the variable inside of this method block and cannot access it from other methods unless you pass it as an argument. The other way to use static variables is as static member variables of your class. For that, you also have to add the static keyword in front of your variable when you declare it in your class. And those variables are linked to the class itself and therefore can be accessed through the class and also by each individual instance of the class. However, unlike normal member variables, all the instances share the same static member variable. Therefore, if one instance changes the value, it changes it for all instances. Since static member variables are initialized before the start of the program, you also have to initialize them. For that, you can go to your CPP file and write the data type of your static member variable, the class name it is part of, 2 times the colon operator, then the name of your static member variable, and then assigning a value to it. Here's an example where I have multiple instances of a class and I call a method on each instance that increases the value of the static member variable by 1. As you can see, it works like intended, showing that static member variables only exists once for the class. One thing that you should remember is that static member variables can't be edited directly from inside the Unreal editor, since the editor and blueprints are working on an instance level. So if you have a member variable that should be adjusted from within the editor, making it static might not be the best call. Therefore, it is more useful to use static member variables if you keep track about game relevant data that changes at runtime. But that's it. Now you should be able to use static variables. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, see you next time.